Good morning, everybody. I'm Adrian Morgan. I head up the Xuber business unit. Jim very kindly presented the insurance market and how it worked at a very high level earlier. Xuber provides software that underpins an organisation, a broking organisation or an insurance organisation. So we underpin those organisations. Before I talk too much more, I'm just going to play you a video that gives a bit of background about the business and where we're going. So, as you can see from the video, Xuber's based on a very firm foundation. 130 customers run our existing software worldwide. With the significant investment over the last few years in a brand new technology solution, we've got a unique global offering, and I'll talk a bit more about that in a few moments. We're really pleased with the timing. The market is starting to move from existing legacy platforms that have been in these businesses and have underpinned them for many, many years, and they're starting to replace that legacy. Today, the competition's relatively limited, and we'll see a little bit about where the competition are versus where we think we are, and why that gives us a benefit going forward in replacing legacy. I said earlier that Xuber underpins an organisation. 80% of an organisation's people will use our software on a daily basis. So it truly underpins an organisation, and that also determines how long it takes to put a piece of software into a large organisation, especially the globals. And with our global capability and a partner ecosystem, we can start to deliver the software across the globe as we move into the new technologies. Just a little bit about the industry. If you break the industry down into two sectors, you've got life assurance and non-life, and that's the non-life insurance sector that we play specifically in the commercial insurance. So personal insurance is relatively straightforward. It's fairly low value risk, and organisations can handle that risk generally on their own. Within the complex commercial sector, where Jim was describing the many parties involved in handling a risk, because the risk could be so large and no single organisation wants to take 100% of that risk, they want to offload it, you can start to see that there's many parties involved in that. That's where we specialise, that's where we're different, that's where we can operate in the complex commercial insurance, but also the reinsurance markets. Where we've come from is an organisation that's been selling software for many years, has our software at the heart of some very, very significant organisations globally. We have our software installed and running in 40 countries. This software underpins a business, and it's very difficult to replace, very costly to replace. And the systems that are inside the 130 customers are our legacy software. Genius, Elgar, Iris and Brokersure power either insurance companies globally or London market companies, be them insurers or the broker. Where we got to last October, we launched Xuber, and at the time we launched 4 new offerings. Xuber for insurers, Xuber for reinsurers, Xuber for brokers and Xuber for MGAs. So effectively, these new offerings are brand new technology solutions that will ultimately be able to replace not just our legacy inside our customer base, but we see that being an opportunity to replace other legacy in other customers. The offerings provide a brand new architecture to enable organisations to get to market quicker, to integrate into distribution channels that just weren't there a few years back. Mobile technology is starting to impact everywhere, and we needed, and organisations need, a new architecture to be able to adopt that. And we'll see in a few moments, but the IT in some of these large organisations are actually holding back the business because it's too slow to deploy new insurance products on legacy. Jim described the industry at the highest level with the brokers and insurance organisations taking the risk. If we look inside an insurance company, the process at a very, very high level, where a large piece of commercial business maybe comes from a client and needs to be insured, that's likely to be taken through a broker. The broker will place that business with a number of underwriters, and the underwriter will then obviously price it. They will, once bound, take the policy document and prepare all of the policy documentation to actually insure that item. And then they'll manage the claims, billing, and then seeding is where, if that piece of risk is too big for that organisation to really want to take ownership of that entire claim should it come through, they reinsure. So they buy insurance, and the chain goes on. So when an insurer buys insurance, they buy that from a reinsurer, and the reinsurer then has a similar but slightly different approach to selling insurance. What we do is provide software for all of those components, but most importantly, as we see coming up to the end of this year, a complete end-to-end solution that seamlessly integrates across every single one of those parts of the life cycle. At the bottom there, you'll see Design Studio. Design Studio is our technology that enables an insurer to design an insurance product and actually deploy it and take it to market. It enables you to decide what data you need to capture. So if it's aviation business, we need to capture data about the planes, size of the planes, the locations of the planes, etc. Within the end user environment via a browser, they've got an optimized user experience. For any line of business, they can have a streamlined user experience all the way through that ultimately reduces the cost of administration of policies and claims. Existing customer AXA that's just deployed the Xuber claims component recently has completely removed paper from their organisation, their claims organisation, and replaced it with a completely electronic solution, end-to-end, using Xuber claims. Analytics across all of those components gives trends. So Xuber Analytics allows you to see trends, to analyse the business, see where potential problems may occur. The key, though, is that we can provide all of those, right the way through to the seeding, which is the complicated piece of insuring with a reinsurer and actually being able to offer complex business out of your organisation as an insurance company into a reinsurance company. So the market is starting to replace legacy solutions. For many, many, many years, large organisations have had mainframe systems, green screen systems that have powered all of these elements of the life cycle, from policy processing, claims processing, the billing, and the seeding. And the reason they're still there is because they're so difficult to replace. They're very sticky. And that's hence our 130 customers that run Genius and Iris are still powered by those solutions. But the market needs to change. So the market is having to adopt new technologies and having to augment that mainframe solution with other pieces of technologies that they're bolting on. And that's expensive. It's very difficult. And a number of the solutions are so old that actually resource is becoming a challenge for them. People who built these things are now at the point of retirement. So they're under pressure over the next 5 to 10 years to remove that legacy environment and put more agile systems in place. This is what the analysts are saying. So Gartner interviewed 85 CIOs, and their second highest priority is legacy modernisation. Navarica in the US, 30% of the organisations in the US are going to replace core systems over the coming years. When you look at the size of that market, there's about £2 billion worth of spend on core software systems in organisations globally. 65% of that is across the US and UK. That spend is on licensing and support and maintenance of core systems. It doesn't include the systems integration, of which there's an enormous amount of integration of these systems into other systems inside an organisation. So £2 billion is spent purely on the software and support and maintenance per annum. It's growing approximately 5% per annum, and in the Far East about 12%. So we see China slowly but surely catching up across the rest of the globe. Very difficult to see, but just a summary of the competitors and where they sit. The headline there is that competition is focused in either single markets, i.e. broking and don't do insurance, or single components, i.e. claims, but don't do policy processing, or where they do more than that, are starting to come from the personal line space, which, as I said at the beginning, is a much simpler industry. It's where the risk is handled by a single insurance company and the processing is not necessary to offload that risk with reinsurance companies. Our key competitors in the market we would look at as being Guidewire and Accenture's Duck Creek. So Duck Creek was acquired by Accenture 2 years back. Both grew up in the US personal space. Both are looking to grow into the complex commercial space. We grew up in the complex commercial space, and our functionality has always been able to cope with that complex process of insurance and reinsurance and the subscription market within London. When organisations from the US arrive with a single currency personal line system and try and bring it to London, there's a big shift of functionality required to be able to support complex processing. We go to market in two key ways. Obviously, we're looking to our existing customer base to upgrade. Our customers run Genius, Iris, which are monolithic end-to-end solutions that cover all elements of that process. So during 2013, we had 3 new components and were able to offer them components. And AXA was a good example of an organisation that runs Genius globally, but claims, they decided to take Xuber Claims to enhance their claims capability, but sitting on Genius. As we move into 2014, we'll be able to offer a complete upgrade for the existing customer base. So our solution in the new technology starts to complete, and we can offer an upgrade to existing customers and move those from existing technology to new technology. And that's using a piece of technology called the Upgrade Studio. Upgrade Studio is a sophisticated tool that supports the migration from our products to our new versions, as well as being able to support the migration from other vendor products in the market to our new solutions. We're obviously focusing new and have targeted the London market, the assumed reinsurance market, and the US non-admitted markets with new technology solutions. And targeted campaigns throughout 2014 in those markets are planned. Finally, to deliver, I said that this is a significant change for an organisation, and to actually implement these systems is a large program of work. We've been building an implementation partner network. Deloitte and EY on a global basis, and smaller local partners to support us in the ability to deliver and actually implement these solutions. We can deploy in a number of different ways as well. The default normal way and most traditional way is a software on-premise implementation, where the customer runs the software within their data centers, and we would price that as an initial license fee and then support and maintenance per annum to support the organisation during the run of that software. More recently, we're able to deploy software as a service, where we manage the software in our data centers and actually play back that software on a subscription basis to an organisation. And then using the power of Xchanging's BPO capability, we can also lay on the processing, which is our third way of taking the software to market. So as we move from 2013 to 2014, we're shifting from 3 new components within our new suites of software to the fourth, which gives us an end-to-end solution. We're delighted that Everest Re signed a contract with us last week to take the whole end-to-end assumed reinsurance solution and replace their existing legacy system. And during that sales process, we were also very pleased to have displaced our key competitors and actually got to a point of being selected. The COO told me that there's nothing in the market that can do what we do. So we're feeling very, very positive about the opportunity. And when you look past 2014, we expect to enter new markets with new configuration and capabilities that we're going to add to the software over the next 12 months into the US admitted and workers' comp market, which are very large markets. Very probably 50% of the US market is a workers' compensation business, and expand our new offerings into the global broking community as well. Thank you.